Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to COASTER-net Update. We've got some breaking news tonight out of Doswell, Virginia, where we have another teaser for the RMC Hurler project down there. Now, Danny, we actually did not cover last week's teaser because I was out on vacation living it up in the Big Apple. So we're actually going to cover both the teasers from both this week and last week. So let's start with last week's teaser. That when you look at this one, it says 28 period makes it better. And there are a set of feet in the background. Danny, what are some of your thoughts with this one?
Well, I had a couple of immediate thoughts. The first of which is the 28 makes it better. We tried to find a number 28 somewhere. People immediately jump to like the height or maybe the speed increase that the RMC Hurler will have. I kind of went a different approach at first because, we're tying back to this theme of how we think all the Cedar Fair parks are working together. And I went back to Cedar Point because that's the one, as of last week, that was the one we were missing because we thought we had a Worlds of Fun teaser. We thought that we had a reference to King's Dominion, and we thought that we might have a reference to a third RMC, maybe a single rail at California's Great America, which we talked about a little earlier. So the 28 makes it better. I tried really hard to find a way to link that to Cedar Point, and that was the big question. And I came up with the fact that Cedar Point currently is, I think, second on the inversion list, and they have 24. So if they were to have 4 inversions on RMC Mean Streak, then they would have 28, which would make it better. Maybe that's a little bit of a stretch, but I apologize. I believe I misspoke there. Hold on. Let me look at the inversion record on our RCDB. Inversions. Cedar Point has 24, which is good for third on the list. Kings Island has 25, which is second on the list. Six Flags Magic Mountain way out in front with 36 inversions. So if 4 inversions on RMC Mean Streak, we know we have at least 2 already based on the construction we've seen to this point. So if we get 2 more somewhere, that could put Cedar Point at 28 inversions, which would make them better than Kings Island and would make them second to only Six Flags Magic Mountain in the inversion count. So that was kind of my way of tying it to Cedar Point. Now, looking back at it and looking back at some more of these teasers and also looking at the one we got today, I went back and kind of revised what I thought maybe and was trying to work the images of these teasers too into the same. 28 makes it better, and I tried to word things in a certain way with the image, like 3 apples better than none. So I said 28 feet makes it better because we have an image of feet. So maybe this one is as simple as we're getting 28 feet added to the height. The feet and the legs there being something that kind of piqued my interest and one that actually made sense with the image here. So maybe we'll see a 28-foot increase, which would put Hurler from 83 feet to 111 feet, which is along the same lines as we saw Storm Chaser, as you told me earlier. Storm Chaser, Twisted Twins was 80 feet and 100. Yes. So we had a 20-foot increase. So it's along the same lines of what we've seen these other rides increase in terms of height.
Yeah. So that one, I think that one's more straightforward. The inversion thing makes it interesting. Remember, we always said it can be double meanings here. So it just doesn't have to be one answer. I don't think. I think they're playing on multiple levels. I think the teaser we got today is a little more interesting. The force rattled the windows.
And I think this one's interesting because it's vague. It's different than all the other ones we've gotten because all the other ones have given us some sort of number to go along with, and numbers are fun. This one is a bit vague, which makes it more interesting.
I think with this one, we're finally moving into the theme of the ride, where I think maybe the stats and the figures, we've said maybe the 3 barrel rolls, the 28 feet, not barrel rolls, but the 3 inversions. That's all fine and good, but I think finally this one for sure is moving into the theme. And the thing that's jumped out at me is the usage of the word force. Automatically takes coaster enthusiasts to Millennium Force and to Cedar Point. And what's interesting today, we've seen in previous shows, we've talked about those posters at Cedar Point. We've seen 2 different characters on the posters. Danny Miller, I don't know if you know this, but there is now a 3rd character on the
There's
poster.
a 3rd one now. I did not know that.
There is a 3rd one that could coincide. And I've been saying for a while that maybe all of these RMCs, wherever they are, we know there's 2, Mean Streak and Hurler. There could be a 3rd out there. If that 3rd, I'm saying that I think they're going to have a shared theme. And I've been saying that for a while here. And this teaser kind of puts that back together for me. The Force rattled the windows. We've seen they're rolling in like thunder. All of these very vibration-like.
And this ties back to what we talked about last week with the whole Railblazer theme possibly being some sort of Western train theme. And I'll also point this out, don't ignore the word rattled in there. Maybe an homage, if you will, to the RMC treatment with Iron Rattler. Maybe that's a bit too far of a stretch, but I mean, always something to add to the story here.
And I said from
also
the beginning,
a Western theme.
Yeah, and I've said from the beginning that the upside down T's, kind of resemble the Iron Horse track a little bit. That when you look at both of them together, you kind of get that sort of look at it. And they've been in every one of the teasers. So with this one, I feel that we're going back to Cedar Point again. The Force rattled the windows. That we're going to see a shared theme among them, and maybe even those 3 characters that we now see on the wanted posters at Cedar Point will start entering into these Battle for King's Dominion app, and then wherever else it goes. If it's Worlds of Fun, Kaga, Knott's Berry, who it's really up in the air right now. But I think that's where we are on this. I don't see anything else besides that, unless you're going to go, because to me, the Cyclone theme has been done on 2 RMCs already. That you have Wicked Cyclone and you have Storm Chaser, both with a tornado theme, and that's the only other theme that I can come up with that fits the Force rattled the windows besides like a train or something coming through.
Well, and how many rides have storm themes? I mean, you've got Storm Runner, Storm Chaser, Lightning Run. I mean, Lightning Rod isn't a storm theme, but it's got the name in it. Even Millennium Force's promo video had something to do with a lightning storm at one point. I mean, it seems like you just have a lot of different. I mean, how many wood coaster? You have hurricane rides called the Hurricane.
Yeah.
You have all sorts of different storm related things. Thunder Run. Thunderbolt. You've got so many of them. It seems like it would. I mean, it might fit at Cedar Point. King's Dominion doesn't seem like.
It's nothing down there. They don't have.
It doesn't seem to make sense there. I mean, we're going to Adventureland this coming weekend. A ride named Tornado out there. It was named for a tornado that ripped through the park right before the ride was supposed to open. That makes some sense. Triple Hurricane down in Florida. Now the Coaster Source at Legoland was named for 3 hurricanes that came through, and the coaster survived it. King's Dominion doesn't seem like a place where that would necessarily work or make sense. Now, maybe some of their other rides don't make a whole lot of sense. I don't know. There's no volcanoes in Virginia.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think that Cedar Fair is in a unique position now that they're opening up, in theory, 4 roller coasters in 1 year. They've never done this before. They 2 at most. And the shared theme to me makes sense because it puts less pressure on the marketing teams, that you can come up with stuff that kind of fits together, draws everything together, and you don't have to come up with wild and crazy names for 4 different rides. You have, a name across, and I'm not saying it's the same name. I'm saying you could have different variations of the same name, where we might see Railblazer, the Outlaw, or Railblazer, kind of like they do with movies nowadays, where it has a subtitle on it. That's the best thing I can come up with here, Danny. We'll have to wait and see until next week because we are consistently getting these on Tuesdays now. So we'll have to see what happens next week with the next teaser. But stay tuned here for more COASTER-net conspiracy as we look at all these teasers from across the country. And as always, Right on, Ride Warriors.
See you guys.